Hello, everybody. Good morning. Happy Thursday, January 18th. Last show of the week for us, which is good, except we've got new stuff coming. So we'll get into that in a few minutes. The extra content that you will be enjoying. I hope you're enjoying it. We'll be enjoying it in the next few days and beginning with next week. It's a whole new feed. Everything's different. So very exciting times happening, which I will get into in just a bit. All right, Doug. Being added to Instagram, I think. If you're on Instagram, head over to youtube.com/No Meat Athlete for the best version of the show. Okay, there's Doug. How are we doing today, Doug?
Matt, we are doing great. We're doing really good. You know why?
Any kind of why?
Because I have my
roller skating.
My new grinder is arriving tonight.
Oh, nice. All right, the grinder. Man, I've been experimenting with my grind settings recently, and they are crucial to their impact on the final cup.
Okay.
Major difference is made depending on what level you do. So first of all, which kind are you getting? Baratza brand, I hope, right?
Baratza brand. I think it's the Encore, whatever the cheaper one is.
The Encore, yeah, good, still a good grinder. Mm-hmm. So anyway, on the Baratza, they say 17 to 19 is the range for Chemex and other sort of pour overs, but I have found that if you go down to 15 or really push it down to 14, you actually get a lot more flavors in the cup. And what I've learned is that's kind of the case with lighter roast coffees, especially those going at higher elevation. They will benefit from that finer grind. If you do it with the darker roasts, you're going to end up with bitterness. So be careful. Just small steps, Doug. Gradually decrease that grind size.
Well, I'm using the French press though, so that's different grind.
Different ball game for sure. But you too will probably find that a little finer than you think is the trick.
Is the trick. Do you do you buy light? What do you buy right now? Coffee.
I'm not that picky. I just try to get whatever counterculture has, usually whatever's on sale. I make sure the notes don't say chocolate in them. I don't like those kind of coffees. I like the ones that say lemon or citrus or apple or those kind of flavors. That's what I usually get. And they're mostly from Africa. I think some are from South America.
Yeah. I think a lot of mine are from South America. I go medium or light, usually light, but sometimes I've been doing a little bit of medium roast, experimenting.
If you get it from your local roaster or Dynamite, it's always going to be medium or dark, I found. They're constantly over roasted. Might as well be Starbucks. So? Yep.
Okay.
No, you're not going to rush to their defense?
No, I mean, they have what I would call some pretty light roasts, but that's where I get most of my coffee. So, if I was branching out a little bit more, maybe I would find that they're a little darker than others.
Maybe. I did. My mom got me for my birthday a trade coffee 3-month subscription. So I got my first one of those 2 days ago. Maybe it was yesterday it arrived. An Ethiopia Yirga Chefe, which is a very nice area. I love those coffees. But guess what? It was only 10.9 ounces in the bag, which is I feel like 12 is already kind of a ripoff. I mean, that's what you expect. But it was less. It was 10% less than that even. I don't know. I was kind of
that is small. I mean, counterculture is 12, right?
I think those are 12. Yeah.
Yeah, those are 12, and because Dynamite's is a pound, so it's 16. Right?
Yeah, Dynamite's a pound. Starbucks usually a pound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you got to be careful with that stuff because some of that coffee is just super expensive when you actually look at the per ounce. Yeah,
it definitely is. Well, good. Well, I'm excited for you to get that grinder. I think you will be very pleased with it.
I am too. I'm very excited about it. It's going to be a good day. Tomorrow's going to be an even better day, but we're not going to talk about it. So I spilled the beans. Hey, spilled the beans today.
Very good. All right, good. So that's why you're happy. Anything else? Oh, guess what? I went to Trader Joe's yesterday and totally forgot about the tofu.
Oh my God, Matt, are you kidding me?
Is that what they are? Tofu skins? Is that what they're called? I forget.
Yeah, tofu skins.
Or are they tofu? Yeah, I went there mainly to get wine because their wine. What I decided is I'm not ever buying wine anymore at the grocery store or even the liquor store. It's just not worth it when you can go to Trader Joe's and get them for $4.99 and $5.99 a bottle, all different Spanish, Italian, French varieties. It's not just like one type, and it's not bad stuff. It's really good because I think, as I said before, I think they buy the leftovers or whatever from other wineries and then just rebottle them when they can't be sold under that label for whatever reason, or relabel them, I guess. So anyway, so I went there and got 12 bottles of wine, saying I'm just going to do this now, buy a bunch of wine and then just not get it at grocery stores because it's more than double the cost. So I did that, and I got some other things there that were cheaper, like San Marzano organic tomatoes were cheap, $3.99 there. I mean, we're used to paying like $6.50 for those things. So there's a lot of good things at Trader Joe's. We were talking earlier in the week about, you were saying Target, place to go for certain things. But Trader Joe's for sure is the place to go get other things. And wine is one of them, but so are a lot of other things. So anyway, I got so swept away by the good deals that I forgot all about tofu skins and didn't even look at it when we had talked about it that morning.
And really hyped it up, honestly. Like we were really talking about the tofu skin.
Yeah. It was a feature article.
Yeah. I am so anti Trader Joe's. I've always had a bad experience
because they don't sponsor enough little league teams in Black Mountain or something.
No, not that. It's not that, and it's not that. Like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with Trader Joe's, the company that I'm aware of, anyway. I just have always had a bad experience. The produce always goes to bad way too quickly.
Aaron says that about the produce.
The frozen stuff, or are always smaller than they should be, like portion wise. Same with like the bags of chips. It's always like less per ounce, or less ounces per bag. And like I'm always left wanting more from Trader Joe's. There's a couple of frozen meals that I like, but they're too small. You have to add something else to it. There's a couple of things that wine, of course, is cheap there, and that's awesome. And every time I do go there, I stock up on the wine. But I just like it is such a waste of time for me to go to Trader Joe's, in my opinion.
Wow, look at that.
Except for tofu skins. I would go there for the tofu skins.
Yeah. Well, Aaron says the produce is bad there. Jody Shuck here agrees. Their produce sucks, goes bad quickly. We don't get the frozen stuff almost never. I don't really know what. I don't know. That's just not why we go there. And so you get those dry goods that don't go bad, and I think you're good. Their pesto, vegan pesto, is delicious. That we buy a couple, we freeze one or two of them. Their plant-based ravioli is delicious. It's good, Doug. Their saffron is cheaper than you can find it anywhere. Pasta, rice, they're all.
Maybe I'm just buying the wrong stuff. Maybe that's my problem. But see, then that's the problem, is because then you go there. No, it's like all their produce. Like I try, or like they have this like fried rice thing that I just want to be good. So bad.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's the junk food. You stay away from that. Yeah. Stay away from the produce. Just get staples, and that's good.
I guess so. All right. Hey, I got one more kind of life update that I've been keeping a secret. Because I wasn't sure if it would stick, but we're 18 days in now to the new year, and I think I can confidently say that I'm on a streak here. And I've gotten back into intermittent fasting, which I did for a while and gave up on. And I don't know, it's just there. Like I'm not really sure why, but it just kind of started at the beginning of the year, and I'm doing like 7:30 to before the show 10:30. And it has so far just felt really good. I know there's kind of like, I feel like intermittent fasting in the everyday has kind of gone out of style. People are doing more of what you do with like the like 5-day fasts and stuff like that. But it has helped me kept me from eating some junk food at the end of the day. It's just made my mornings feel a little bit more alive and good. And I like the feeling of being hungry. Not like starving, but I like, when I eat, being hungry. And if I have breakfast with my kids in the morning, I'm not hungry. I'm just eating to eat. So right. It's been a good change for you. Yeah.
Good. Remember, I think it was No Meat Athlete Radio. It could have been Plant-Based Morning Show, but I think it was No Meat Athlete Radio. When like there was some couple that for some reason we talked to, they were big fans of the site. Oh no, it was someone I met on a cruise or something. And we were talking about something, and I mentioned intermittent fasting and you or something, and they were both like, "Oh yeah, that Doug and his health kicks, they never last." It was so funny. It was kind of before I started constantly making fun of you for different things. It's just I was like, because it had never occurred to me that you constantly failed at intermittent fasting, because I don't know if you did. For some reason, that
It
was
took me
their
years of
impression.
saying I was going to do it and never, and like doing it for a week or two and never sticking to it. But I
If
did for
only
a while. There was
if only
like
they were still
maybe
around.
6 months.
If only they were still around to know about the pull-up fiasco that has gone on for the past couple of years.
I have an update there too, but I'm not going to talk about it because I'm just not going to talk about pull-ups anymore until one
Okay,
day
I think
you're
it's
just
good.
going to turn on the camera and I'm going to be doing them and it's going to be great.
Good, great. All right, look forward to that day. All right, quickly, I promised announcements. We're changing some podcast format stuff. I think next week it's going to be full-time all week, but we're going to put up another episode tomorrow on No Meat Athlete Radio. It won't be a plant-based morning show. It's me and my partner, Matt Tolman, doing something we're calling Outlier Health Podcast. It's us talking about kind of the stuff and the concepts we were digging into as we write this new book, which is such early phases. Doesn't even have a publisher yet, but it's in the works. It's at the agent, shopping around, all that stuff. So chances are it'll become a book, and it'll be a year and a half from now. But along the way, we've had a ton of conversations about it. So we said we got to start recording these and talking about this stuff in a more public format. So we're going to do that once a week. It's going to be on what is right now the No Meat Athlete Radio feed, and the name of that feed is going to change to Outlier Health, or Outlier Health Podcast. No Meat Athlete Radio will continue to be a once a week show, or it will become again a once a week show. It'll be on that same feed, and the plant-based morning shows are also going to be on that feed. It's possible we will have some little mix of, keep some here and republish one on there. We don't quite know those details yet. But anyway, the point is, eventually the vision is have all the podcasts on one channel, 5 shows a week. That'll be 3 morning shows, a No Meat Athlete Radio, and an Outlier Health Podcast, all under the name Outlier Health Podcast. So hopefully that's not too confusing. That's obviously one of the things we're considering here is how to make it not confusing. But we've seen some other examples of people doing similar things with their formats. So I'm really excited about that. I don't think all the shows are going to be live, like the morning show, probably for the time being, just the morning show will be the live recording. So this experience won't really change unless perhaps one of the days of the week changes. And it's possible it would move one of them to Friday. So that hasn't been totally discussed yet, but it's possible. So anyway, that's what I have. I don't know more details than that yet, but I think next week there will be a full week of 5 shows, and we'll go from there. And then at some point, new art and official announcement and all that. So that's the inside scoop.
That is the inside scoop. Head over to No Meat Athlete Radio, subscribe, get all the new shows. It's gonna be really cool. I'm really excited about your and Matt's new show. I think that no one has ever heard of Outlier Health except for us. So you want to talk for a second about that?
So Outlier Health is our parent company name. We don't really use it. It's on that mug that we have, that shirt I sometimes wear. It's like our company name. That Outlier, someone who exceeds off the charts, does something different against the grain, all that stuff. That's what that means. So yeah, we picked that name. It's
the parent company to complement No Meat and No Meat Athlete.
Right. So that's what that would be called. Honestly, that's like the least important part of this. So it doesn't, we could have named it something else and that'd be fine too. It doesn't matter. But that is, where that comes from. And I didn't mention also on No Meat Athlete Radio, our friend Isabel, who works as a big part of the complement team nowadays, bigger and bigger role. She is going to be a constant on No Meat Athlete Radio, which I'm very excited to have her be a part of it. We don't quite know with No Meat Athlete Radio how it's going to go. It may be all 4 of us, me, you, Matt, Tolman, and Isabel. It may be Isabel and 1 or 2 others at a time. We don't quite know. That's all TBD, but she's going to be a big part of that show. And I think we'll see her pop in on the morning show sometimes as well. So there you go. That's where we're headed, and we will see how it goes. I'm sure it will change, but that's the plan for now.
Sure it will. But yeah, no, it's exciting. It's gonna be good. Lots of new content.
Yeah, definitely. It's fun to be able to make that much content. I would have never imagined that we could do a show every single day. A year ago or 2 years ago. I would have said it's just too much.
We did content, do that a year and a half ago.
I know, but we were doing this show, and this is easy. There's constantly new stuff.
Yeah.
So to be doing that with lots of people, I don't know. It's very good. All right, let's jump into our thing. Hey, we didn't say hi to people really quickly. Hello to Britters, Jody Shuck, Anne Marie, Mr. Jeffrey, Dale Stevens, Kate, Scott Mulholland, Kelly K, Phyllis Hauser, I said Jody Shuck. I don't think so. Maybe Lady Draws a Lot, who I haven't seen in a while. And yeah, that's it. That's all the names right now. So anyway, good crowd today. Good to see everybody. And let's go ahead.
Smash that like button on YouTube.
Yep. And no one sent me any Venmo. Actually, I didn't check my DMs, but I didn't get any Venmo requests.
Hey, Garuda Legends is back.
Oh, good. Very good. Garuda Legends, you were missed. We were wondering yesterday what was going on. People were panicked. So glad you're back. All right, let's jump in. Football news. I wish Steven were here. Lewes FC. I think it's pronounced Lewis. It could be Lewes. Lewes. I know the one in Delaware you pronounce as Lewis, but possible that Delaware has a different pronunciation than the UK does. Anyway, Lewes FC Women, which plays football in the Barclays Women's Championship, which is the second division of women's football / soccer in England. They are taking part in Veganuary with a complete plant-based match day against Durham this weekend. This is from Plant-Based News, our UK-based friends who know all about these sort of things. They made history in 2017 when they announced they'd pay their men's and women's teams equally, certainly hot-button issue in the women's football world and the men's football world as well. And now they've got this Veganuary thing where the whole stadium will be plant-based menu on January 21st. It's a Sunday. The vegan menu will have vegan loaded fries, steakless pies. I wonder if they'll have haggis, Doug. That'd be good.
Could be.
This is in Scotland, but it's not that far away. And vegan meatballs. And then they're going to have seaweed on chips. I guess that's like fish and chips. Sounds disgusting.
I don't know about that one.
Never want to eat that. And creamy vegan chicken pie, sponsored by Omni, the dog food company. I don't know. I thought Omni was a cultivated meat company, but maybe not. Just as plant-based dog food company. And then the rest of January, and I thought they were making cultivated pet food.
I don't know if I would
the rest
want
of January,
to eat vegan pies that are sponsored by the dog food company. I mean, I know it's plant-based, but still, like.
Well, the Mats is sponsored, not the.
They're not made it. They're not Omni's vegan pies. Okay, got it.
They're just sponsored, but it's confusing. You're right. It's kind of a mix up there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of January, the menu will be 50% plant-based. So that's pretty cool. That's a good thing.
Very cool.
A lot of good stuff happening in England about plant-based diets. That is not happening here, unfortunately. What is happening here, though, this from Veg News, is that Taco Bell has a new value meal that appears to be just for us, and it's easy to make fully vegan. It's called the Veggie Build Your Own Cravings Box. $5.99. You get a specialty item. Well, there's a choice of specialty item, classic item, side, and drink. So I'm not familiar enough. As much as I go to Taco Bell, I don't know what the specialty items are and what the classic items are. Do you, Doug?
No idea.
No idea.
You're the Taco Bell.
You're doing a boycott right now of Taco Bell because of your bad experience there. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure what's what. That sounds like a really good deal if you get two of those items plus a side and a drink. Because I would expect to get maybe one item.
Yeah,
Like a Crunchwrap. If you get a black bean Crunchwrap, that's going to be $4.50 or something. So
I was gonna say,
to also get another classic item, a side, and a drink, that's a pretty good deal. So here they mentioned that for a fully vegan meal, select from the options such as the black bean Crunchwrap Supreme and the black bean Chalupa. I'm guessing those are both specialty items. Get them without the dairy ingredients, the sour cream and the cheese. Just say fresco style usually works most Taco Bells. And then the bean burrito, spicy soft taco, or spicy potato soft taco, cheesy bean and rice burrito can also be made vegan. So those sound more like regular items. I don't really know. But then sides, there's cheesy fiesta potatoes you can get without the cheese or sour cream. You can get the cinnamon twists, which are vegan as is. And of course, you get a fountain drink, which is going to be vegan, but terrible for you. So there you go. That's your thing. Probably not going to affect my Taco Bell ordering. I'll probably still with the same thing I usually do.
You wouldn't get this?
I mean, I just don't get the drink, and I don't want the cinnamon twist or whatever. What else you get? Potatoes? Yeah. See, I wouldn't want that stuff. I just want like a couple Crunch Wraps, and that'd be good. Maybe
I would get
hard
this.
taco.
I would get this. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and maybe get like, I don't know what I would get to drink. Not sure. Unsweetened iced tea, possibly. I don't know. Yeah. I don't ever get fountain drinks, but maybe. I have no idea.
That's the thing. So you're losing out on value already.
I know, but I feel like it's still cheaper than an order anyway.
Maybe.
All right. So I was reading this and I was excited to read it. I think it's great. I was wondering if it would make me go back to Taco Bell.
Oh yeah, to lift your ban,
I
lift your
don't know.
boycott.
I don't know. It might. It certainly makes me feel a little bit better about Taco Bell. But at the same time, I did see something. Someone else mentioned. I don't forget where it was. Someone else mentioned that they went to Taco Bell, ordered a vegetarian wrap, and got meat on it as well.
Mm. I mean, yeah, I've plenty of times gotten cheese all over my thing and have to go back into the place and get a new one. And they don't make it free or anything. They just give you, I mean, you get your replacement is free, obviously, but it's not like they refund you or something. They don't generally care that much that you didn't have a good experience. Yeah, that happens. I've never had the meat issue. That would be off-putting for sure. So what is it that would make you see this and your eyes light up and you say, that's a great deal I can't miss? Or you're just saying they're helping out the vegetarians with this veggie build a own craving box? Like, why are you excited about this? I mean, obviously,
I think it's cool that they have a veggie build your own box. That they've created something called the veggie build your own. Yeah,
for the veggie. Okay, so you like you like that they're
it probably is a good deal. It probably is a great deal if you were to buy all those things separately. You know, but I'm not really going to Taco Bell necessarily to save some money. So
that's why people go to Taco Bell. It's a cheap restaurant. I just saw an ad yesterday from some band. Portugal the Man. It was their guy voiceover Taco Bell ad and saying, back when we were, just starting out, it was the only restaurant we could afford. $3, you live like a king or something like that. That's the Taco Bell campaign. So, and I was thinking, man, like that is amazing. That is perhaps the cheapest good restaurant you can go to.
Good.
I mean, if you're talking about good, like as far as like getting actual food that's not like, well, I guess it could make you sick, but I don't know. $3 for a meal. That's you can't do that at McDonald's. I don't think.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. McDonald's
and you can get plant-based.
It's expensive. Yeah.
Right.
Scott over on YouTube says that it happened to his wife a few weeks ago. Black bean crunch wrap loaded with beef. There you go.
I mean, the employment situation at fast food restaurants, Taco Bell in particular, but I think all of them is just disaster right now. They just haven't recovered from COVID. They're always closed. No good. What about your town, Doug? You clean that up in your town?
Clean up the fast food business?
Yeah, as a local politician, have you made that an initiative? Make sure they're fully staffed?
No, I have not. But I think that they are. I mean, they're open. You can dine in at our Taco Bell.
Always, all the open hours, all the appropriate open hours. If you show up, I'm never going to be locked out.
I honestly don't pay close enough attention. You know, what did shut down was Denny's, which I thought was interesting. They had staffing issues and eventually just kind of shut down this week. And you couldn't. At first, I was like, "Oh, that's kind of a bummer." And then I went to look and see what vegan options they had at Denny's, and it's like nothing. I mean, it is nothing. but I liked knowing that it was there, that you could get breakfast at 12 at midnight or whatever.
Right? Yeah. Right.
Never went.
All right. Last one. Imagine Dairy, an Israeli food tech startup. This is more news out of Israel, where they just approved cultivated beef. This company has announced that they've acquired and they're operating their own industrial scale precision fermentation production lines, and they plan to sell animal-free products at a similar price point to traditional dairy. They have 100,000 liters of fermentation capacity, and they plan to triple that output within the next year or two, or triple their volume output within the next year or two. So I don't know what the news is there. It sounds like it's a company that announced something, just like last week, VFC announced they were now VFG and they were going to take over the vegan world. But let's see if it happens, and then we'll be excited. So same goes for Imagine Dairy.
That's right.
I like the name though, right? Kind of like Imaginary, but it's Imagine Dairy.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Not bad.
But is it dairy though?
All right. No, you imagine it's like dairy. All right. Bitter says those $5 box meals always used to wrangle me in. Good college kid value. Yeah, I mean, Taco Bell was a great college kid place. I don't remember the $5 boxes.
No.
I just remember bags. Always bags. Taco Bell. And Dale Stevens says, last time I went to Denny's, I asked for a scramble, hold the bacon, ham, eggs, and cheese, and add more veg. They charged me for the veg additions. We complained and had them take it off. Yeah. That's like the whole thing. You're asking them to not give you that.
Just like stir-fried veggies. That's funny.
Yeah, if you hold all that stuff, what else is there in the scramble? Except for maybe some vegetables. Yeah, that literally would be stir-fried veggies. That's funny that they would charge for that. because
That is funny.
it should be the opposite. All right. So we got two things today, both about protein. I was perusing the headlines this morning, as I always do, to prepare for the show, and I saw this one. I thought, uh-oh, this is not a good thing for our plant-based diet. The headline from dailymail.co.uk, and the headline says, "Warning vegans!" ! Animal proteins are crucial for healthy aging. Major study of 50,000 women shows. In a new tab, continued reading the headlines, open them all up, which is what I usually do. And I also found one that said, eating more of this type of protein could help you age better. So I thought, uh-oh, that sounds like the same thing. But I clicked it and it was about plant protein. And then I realized they're talking about the exact same study, a new one from Tufts University that looked at protein consumption broken down into plant and animal, and then even broke animal into dairy versus everything else. And its effect on aging among 50,000 women. It was a survey-based study, data collected over 3 decades. And the thing that's saying warning vegans is completely like just false. It's just not, that's not at all what the study said. The subheadline, the bullets on that one say, eating plant-based with small amounts of animal protein wards off diseases. And then
Right.
next one, research shows that vegan diets can be harmful for overall health, is the next bullet. It just has nothing to do at all with the study. So I clicked over to the actual study itself. And the title of that is Dietary Protein Intake in Midlife in Relation to Healthy Aging. Results from the Prospective Nurses Health Study Cohort. Anyway, what they end up concluding there is dietary protein intake, especially plant protein in midlife, is associated with higher odds of healthy aging and with several domains of positive health status in a large cohort of female nurses. They eventually broke things down even more. They found that basically for every like 3% of calories where you swap either animal protein, fat, or carbohydrate for plant protein, you get this, huge boost, 38% boost in your odds of healthy aging. However, they define that. I didn't look carefully at what they called healthy aging. Yeah. So plant-based protein by far the winner there for that swap. If instead you were to swap in dairy protein, you get a 14% boost. And if you were putting animal protein, which I think includes dairy, but also includes everything else, you get a 7% boost. So the story is that protein is good, and that people, at least women in this age group, in this particular study, who eat more protein over other options, fat or carbohydrate, will tend to have better outcomes as they age. The plant protein specifically was more protective against mental health, and a few other good things that came from the plant-based protein. There was nothing good that came from the meat one, other than consuming more protein was a good thing, right? So if you did get it from the meat, it was better still than eating carbohydrate or fat. And so like there is literally nothing here to suggest that it's if you're going to be vegan, you better eat a little bit of animal protein, or much worse, that vegan diets can be harmful for overall health. I mean, there's just nothing about that. And even in the study, even in an article that says that, it says, in a study of more than 48,000 women collected over 3 decades, women who ate mostly plant protein sources like vegetables and beans while still consuming a small amount of animal protein were 46 more likely to be healthier as they aged. And I think that's compared to people who didn't eat a lot of protein. And then let's see. Let me find it. Sorry. It says here, which I don't think is true. The study is one of many in recent years that have suggested that animal protein, even in a mostly plant-based diet, is crucial for warding off disease. And I will explain in a minute where I think they are kind of incorrectly concluding that. As you go down, and my page is not entirely loading, so I'll have to maybe come back to this idea. But they said later, they say those who consume mostly animal protein, beef, chicken, milk, fish, and cheese, were 6% less likely to stay healthy as they got older. Yeah. Can't find the other thing in front of me right now. But anyway, there was another thing, like in the article that has that headline that's anti-vegan, where it's explicitly saying that the meat is bad as far as the health outcomes go. So very interesting that that's how they would spin it. I looked at the study like kind of deeply. I mean, not super in depth, But I try to figure out like where are they getting this idea? Like, why does it say eating plant protein plus a small of animal protein? And figure out is that if you looked at entirely plant-based people, of which certainly there were some in this group, they're eating some amount of protein. It turns out that if you ate that amount of protein plus some extra in the form of animal protein, or sorry, if you look at the people who eat plant-based plus a little bit of animal protein, overall, they are getting more protein than the plant-based group. That's my guess. And because of that, they're actually doing better on the health outcomes.
I gotcha. Yeah.
Right. But for those people, if they were to swap that extra protein they're getting in the form of animal protein, if they were to swap even that for plant-based protein, and so then be fully plant-based, but getting the maximum amount of protein, I think they would be just as healthy. Or healthier, because the study has made that exact point, that swapping every 3% of calories that are swapped from animal protein to plant protein gives you this 38% odds boost of living longer, or of healthy aging.
Is there an upper
limit? So I think
limit?
It's just that they are consuming more protein. Well, you get 38% more, and then you get maybe 38% of what is left, and then 30% of what is left, right? So I don't know if there is an upper limit. They didn't mention that, but I'm sure if you understood statistics well or looked deeply into this, you could figure out that it levels off eventually, or that only applies around this sort of 95% confidence. And I have no idea, but it's not like you keep adding 38% on top of it, so 3 times you're over 100%, and that's not how it works.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess what does this tell you about how much protein you should get as a woman over 50?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure I'm sure they have guidelines for that. I didn't look that deeply to see what the actual numbers were. But they do tell you, they looked at the different quartiles in the study, and they showed the amount that all of them were getting in terms of their grams per day and all that. So you can look deeper and find that, but I don't know how to immediately get that from the charts here of what's ideal.
Yeah. Well,
so anyway,
it just further emphasizes that the research shows that we do need more protein as we age, right? Especially women, I guess, according to this study. But
Yep.
That there are benefits to increasing your protein intake as you get older.
Right. Yeah. So there's a lot of interesting things. There's that, right? Protein is important as you age. More important than most people, I think, assume it is. You're always, according to this study, you're better off getting it from plant protein, no matter what level you're at. If you can get more of it, you're best off getting it from plant protein. But if you can't, you're better off getting it from animal protein than from nothing, or than eating more carbohydrate and fat, right? So that goes against this idea, this meat is poison idea, that if you eat, added meat to your diet, it's immediate health decline, right? Like it doesn't work that way. It can be part of a healthy diet. And then of course there's this big thing, this media thing. It kills me that this kind of stuff happens, right? That this is a warning vegans headline.
Right.
It's just crazy. It is just bizarre. And then I read the comments. Thankfully, a lot of the comments, even on a publication like this, that I'm sure doesn't have a whole lot of vegan readers, the top comments are people saying this is the complete opposite of what the study says. But then there's some people who just say we're meant to eat meat, our body's built for it. It's just like this.
It's great that the comments say that, but most people aren't one reading the article. They're going to see the tweet or the whatever, with just the headline.
See, only that.
Oh,
yep.
Did you see the
thumbs
thumbs
they will
up?
Share it along.
And then they'll share it along, and and that will sorry, Instagram's doing like emojis when you do hand signals. Zoom does that now too, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay. They'll share it along, and that'll be that. Like that'll be the thing that they want to talk about when they hear that there's a vegan. So
yep.
I don't know. It's too bad. Kind of an interesting side note about aging and nutrients. I've been doing some research on an iron article that I'm writing, and there is a study. Let's see. I forget where it's from. Here, I'm looking at it right now. 2011 study. Not sure where it's from. Where they looked. I'd have to go back and look. But in elderly people in nursing homes, 50 to 60% of them are anemic or have iron deficiencies. Isn't that crazy?
Wow. And what's that attributed to?
It's attributed to your body as you age, especially as you get older than 65. It metabolizes iron differently, so you need to monitor it better and increase the amount. But also just in particular nursing homes is the limited diet and how you're not eating a lot of iron-rich food. So it's kind of the combination of the diet and the situation, and then also the fact that as you're aging, you're metabolizing iron differently.
Right. That is interesting. Yeah, I think the days of saying, well, I eat a plant-based diet, so I don't worry about my stuff, or I eat any diet, right? I don't know. It's just like it's very hard to rely because of the food system and the foods that most people are getting now. I don't know. You just can't count on anything giving you what you need, which is why we have a supplement company. We made that, by the way, for that reason.
That's right.
Yeah, and also you can also plan a lot of times and plan and get whole food. You just got to be careful and make sure you are getting enough of things you want from foods. But I don't know. It just feels like it was easier 15 years. Maybe it wasn't easier. It just seemed easier. And as I've learned more since then, I realized like, I don't know. You can't just say like, I'm going to just eat this food and I'll be fine. In my opinion, some people will, and they'll be fine, but I don't know. Just thinking more about it as I get older.
Yeah.
All right.
Just to put it on. The study was from Stanford Hospital and Clinics and Veterans Affairs from Palo Alto. So
okay.
On that note, your mom has a comment.
With that, we'll be releasing Complement Iron, right? Is this lead up to the announcement of a new product?
No. We have a new product. We have an iron product coming. No, not at all. Just
right,
an
my mom's
article about iron.
All right. So my mom says, before overloading on protein, maybe take a look at Dr. Greger's How Not to Age book and its impact on IGH-1 and cancer increase. Yeah, I mean, that's a good thing. I think she means IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor 1. It is definitely linked to cancer. My understanding of it is that plant-based proteins do not increase the amount of IGF-1 in your body. Even some of these processed soy proteins that they used to say might actually do that. It turns out that somehow they bind differently or something. So yeah, a lot of animal protein will do that. But I guess, I mean, according to a study like this one, small amounts, you're still okay. Because there are still benefits at this point to eating small amounts of animal protein in this study. But yeah, good point. You don't want to go crazy with animal proteins. All right. On that note, and for that exact purpose, to the rescue comes from Eat This, Not That, 36 sources of plant-based protein. The 36 best vegan proteins to crush cravings and feel full. Kind of a throwaway article, honestly. I mean, a lot of the stuff is exactly that. We don't really need a list of plant-based protein sources, certainly not 36 of them. I think for me, you focus on beans as like making sure you're getting plenty of them. Your protein's going to show up in vegetables, and that's a good thing too. Whole grains, good choice as well. So, I mean, I don't really honestly care beyond that about the amounts of which ones and which bean has the most compared to others. Yes.
No Meat Athlete was built on the protein cheat sheet. And and exactly this, a list of vegetarian protein sources.
Yeah, I know. That was always our best opt-in, and it killed me that's what people wanted more than anything else was a list of protein shopping sources. But yeah, that's a good point. But you know what? We gave them what they wanted, and then they thought they were getting what they wanted. They came in what they wanted, and we gave them eventually what they needed, which was the knowledge that doesn't matter.
The morning show.
So, but I think when you sell them what they want, you give them what they need. Is that what it goes with?
I think that's right. Yep.
So they come in thinking they want that. Later, we give them what they need, which is the actual education. That turns out that protein list didn't really matter. All right. So the bottom of the list is vegetables. Brussels sprouts, sweet potatoes, artichokes, spinach, bulgur wheat. They did this per serving, which is the only, good thing about this list is that it is per serving. So it's kind of a reasonable, look at what you might get. Because if you look at protein by calorie, for example, you find Brussels sprouts have a whole lot of protein or broccoli has a whole lot of protein. I think 50% of the calories are from that in one of those cases, at least. And it sounds like, well, that could be a great protein source, but it actually can't because there's so much water in there. And, to eat a large amount of protein from those, you'd have to eat so much food that you just couldn't do it. So a serving is a much more reasonable way to talk about the protein contribution. As you move down the list to the more densely packed things, you start getting Seeds and beans, for example, chia seeds are number 12. They've got 4.7 grams in a 1 ounce serving. Teff in a half cup cooked, you get 4.9 grams. Chickpeas are they're at the 14th spot on the list. 5 grams of protein per serving. Anyway, keeps going. Faro Frike. You ever eat Frike, Doug? Freekeh.
Never even heard of it.
No, it's a Middle Eastern grain. You could eat it with your cultivated beef if you lived in Israel. Nice complete protein meal, maybe. Soy milk, number 21. And by the way, the higher you go in the numbers, the better. 36 would be the best. Pumpkin seeds, wheat berries. Then we get to the more beans, black beans, peanut butter, quinoa, textured vegetable protein. That seems like an odd thing to include here, but I guess it's okay. Edamame, soybeans, number 28. Lentils, 29. Now we're at 9 grams of protein per half cup serving, by the way. Tofu, first one in the 30s. Hemp hearts, I don't eat those very much. Amaranth, also don't eat that very much. Khorasan wheat, another ancient grain that I don't eat.
Yeah.
But I mean, really, who would have thought certain types of wheat has that much protein? Tempeh, 34, 11 grams per 85 gram serving.
Why do you think tempeh
buckwheat
has so much more than like edamame or soybean?
I've never really thought about that. That's a good question because that's what tempeh is made from, right?
Right. Yeah.
And it's fermented. I don't know. I don't know why it would have more. Perhaps the water gets cooked out of it. That's probably what it is. So a serving, you can pack more calories in. But in terms of its actual, protein per calorie, maybe it's the same. Buckwheat 35, which is second place. I don't like buckwheat that much, but there it is. And number 36, the winner, seitan. For 3 ounce serving, you get 15 grams of protein. But they don't mention that the bioavailability or the protein digestibility score of seitan is very low. I think it's like 50%. So you're essentially getting half that much. But that is not mentioned here. So anyway, I love seitan. Eat it a lot. I don't know if I'm thinking it's a health food or not. I can't quite decide about that. I mean, it's 100% wheat gluten, basically.
Any idea what the bioavailability or the protein? What did you call it? Protein
digestibility score.
Digestibility score is of something like tempeh or tofu. Like, is 50% a total outlier, or is everyone else around 60%?
I think that's pretty low. I think in general, plant-based diet, you got to change your numbers by 10%. So I think the best we'll get is around 10%. Let's see though. Protein digestibility score. Nothing immediately coming to my attention. This is exciting content, I know. Okay, here we go. So number 1, this 100%, I guess. I mean, I guess it's adjusted so that 1 is the highest you can get. It doesn't mean that you absorb 100% of that protein. It's just whatever the winner is, they scale everything. So cow's milk, eggs, casein, soy protein, silkworm pupae, and whey. Those are all the 1 index scores. That's all pretty good. Soy gets 0.91, so 90%. Mycoprotein, which is what meaty foods is made of, 99.6, 0.996.
Whoa!
So that is nearly perfect, or nearly the max. Pea protein concentrate, 0.893. Chickpeas, 0.78. So now we're down below 80. So most of these whole beans, except for soy, are under 80. Black beans, 75. Vegetables, 73. Dehulled hemp seeds, etc. Wheat, 42. Wheat gluten, listen to this. Wheat gluten, 0.25. So that's even worse than the 0.5 I said. I've heard more like 0.5 in different places, but I don't know quite how they've. This says it's a corrected amino acid score. So yeah, it's really not all it's cracked up to be. So if seitan is your big protein source, you need to rethink that and get meaty foods instead. That's where to do it. Mycoprotein.
There you go. Or soy.
Pretty good choice. So there you go. Protein episode. Who would have thought we'd do one of those? Somebody says, Aaron Jenkins says that there's a great new podcast on Simon Hill's channel with Alan Aragon about protein. So that would be good to hear. His show is, what is it? The Proof, Plant Proof, or something like that?
I think it's just the Proof podcast now.
The Proof podcast.
Remove the plant.
What's that mean? That's what it's called?
I think it's just called Proof, not Plant Proof. It
what's
used to be Plant Proof.
okay. Right. Okay. I think he has a book called Plant Proof. And Anne-Marie says she listened to that and it was good. So there you go. Cool. Good. So now we all have something to listen to.
That's right. While you're going to the veggie, veg news, veggie nominations and voting for Plant-Based Morning Show.
Yes, exactly.
Here we go. Phyllis has been
all right.
enjoying meaty food products. I can't eat soy or gluten. Wow. So this is great for me.
Oh, okay. So
Wow,
you can
very
tolerate that. That's interesting because some people can't. That's also a reminder is apparently now in Super Target, which I don't know which Targets are Super Targets, but you can get meaty foods there in their food section.
Yeah.
It's also in Sprouts. Is the only other place I've seen it. But I'd buy that again if I saw that in front of me. I don't ever go seek it out, but if I saw that at the store, I would grab one because not the chicken, but the steak one was pretty good.
The steak.
Yeah. So there you have it. Don't forget to go listen to the No Meat Athlete radio channel. Go over to that podcast and subscribe there. The episode that will go up today or tomorrow will be me and Matt Tolman talking about our new book and some of the topics around it, and just laying out the plan basically for this new show that we are doing once a week. That's it. That's all I got. Doug, anything else from you before you get ready for your pre-birthday weekend?
That's it for me. No, just
all right.
Ready
Any
to
celebrations
go into the
begin
weekend.
this weekend?
No, not really. Next weekend. Yep.
Next weekend's the big one.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? Did you tell us?
Yeah, going skiing. Do the same thing I did last year. Renting a place
with the family, or just yourself?
Yeah, with family.
Okay, good, very nice.
Yeah,
Daniel P.
Three full days of skiing, which would be really nice.
Definitely, especially if you can get a babysitter for the kids one of the days. Put them in a lesson.
My mom's coming. She's gonna hang out with the kids. Yeah,
good. All right. Daniel P says meaty is buy one get one free at Sprouts this week. That's pretty good because it's not that cheap. So that's a good way to afford it. Might be even cheaper than Target, Doug, which would be counter to your advice.
I know. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening this week. This was fun. We'll be back next week and beginning of lots more content. So hope to see everyone enjoying all that stuff. And we will see you for this show on Tuesday.
That's right. All right. See you next week.